There is a moment every dog owner knows. It happens on an ordinary Tuesday. You're sitting on the couch, not doing anything special. And your dog climbs up beside you, rests their head on your leg, and sighs that long, slow, completely content sigh as if to say, "This is exactly where I'm supposed to be." And in that moment, you feel it too. That quiet, wordless understanding between a human and a dog that has existed for over 15,000 years. It is one of the oldest relationships on Earth. And it is one of the most profound. But dogs don't live as long as we do. And that is a grief every dog owner carries. The average dog lives between 10 and 13 years. Some breeds less, some more. But no matter how many years you get, it never feels like enough. What if you could change that? Not with science fiction, not with expensive treatments, but with 6 simple, proven choices that researchers, veterinarians, and dog owners around the world have studied and confirmed, choices that can add real, quality years to your dog's life. This is their story. And yours. These are the 6 ways to make your dog live longer. Every living thing begins with what it eats. For dogs, this truth is no different and perhaps no more important. In 2005, researchers at Purina completed a landmark study that followed 48 Labrador retrievers for their entire lives, 14 years. Half were fed a controlled lean diet. The other half were fed 25% more of the same food. The results were remarkable. The dogs maintained at a lean, healthy weight lived an average of 1.8 years longer than their heavier counterparts. They also experienced the onset of age-related diseases, arthritis, organ decline, chronic illness nearly 2 years later in life. Nearly 2 extra years. Simply from what went into the bowl. The lesson is clear. Food is not just fuel. Food is medicine. A high-quality diet for a dog looks like this: named, whole protein sources at the top of the ingredient list. Real chicken, real salmon, real beef. Not vague terms like meat by product or Animal Digest, which tell you very little about what your dog is actually consuming. It means avoiding artificial preservatives, excessive fillers, and added sugars, which serve the manufacturer's shelf life far more than they serve your dog's health. And it means looking for a simple phrase on every bag, or can complete and balanced nutrition meeting AAFCO standards. Those 4 words are your assurance that the food has been tested, not just assembled. The best years of your dog's life are built, meal by meal, in the bowl you fill every day. Choose wisely. Here is an uncomfortable truth that no one likes to say. In many households, overfeeding a dog has become a quiet expression of love. A beg at the table, a treat after every walk, an extra scoop because they looked hungry or because saying no felt unkind. It is love, real love, but it is love that shortens lives. Today, more than 56% of dogs in the United States are classified as overweight or obese. That is more than half of all pet dogs. And the consequences are not cosmetic. They are catastrophic. Excess weight places chronic stress on a dog's heart, forcing it to work harder every hour of every day. It grinds down joints that were never designed to carry that load. It strains the kidneys and the liver. It dramatically increases the risk of diabetes, respiratory disease, and certain forms of cancer. An overweight dog does not just feel heavier. An overweight dog ages faster. There is a simple test any owner can perform at home, right now. Place both hands on your dog's sides and gently press along the ribcage. You should be able to feel each individual rib with light, easy pressure, not see them, but feel them. If you cannot find the ribs without pushing firmly, your dog is likely carrying too much weight. The solution is not punishment, it is adjustment. Slightly smaller portions. Healthier treats: a carrot, a green bean, a blueberry. 1 extra walk each week. A conversation with your veterinarian about your dog's ideal weight. Love your dog generously. Just make sure that love is adding years, not taking them away. Dogs were not designed to be still. Long before they were companions, they were workers, hunters, herders, guardians, animals built for miles of movement, for problem solving, for purpose. That design has not changed. Regular physical exercise is one of the most powerful forces for longevity in dogs. It strengthens the cardiovascular system, preserves lean muscle mass, protects joints, and regulates the hormones that control mood, weight, and immune function. Most adult dogs need a minimum of 30 minutes of meaningful exercise every day, not a slow meander, but real movement that elevates the heart rate. For high-energy breeds the Border Collies, the Siberian Huskies, the Vizslas, and Australian Shepherds that number climbs significantly higher. But there is another kind of exercise that is just as vital and far less discussed. Mental exercise. Dogs are cognitive animals. They were bred across thousands of years to think, to track a scent across miles of terrain, to read the subtle movements of a flock, to solve problems their survival depended on. That intelligence does not disappear in a suburban living room. It sits there, waiting to be used. When it isn't used, it turns inward. Boredom becomes stress. Stress becomes cortisol. And sustained cortisol, in dogs as in humans, is a slow and silent destroyer, suppressing the immune system, accelerating cellular aging, shortening the very years we are trying to protect. Puzzle feeders. Scent games. New trails. Short training sessions. 5 minutes of learning something new. A dog whose mind is engaged is a dog whose body will last. Keep them moving, keep them thinking, and watch them thrive. If there is one truth that veterinarians repeat more than any other, it is this: the disease that kills a dog is rarely the one that surprises us. It is the one we saw and waited on. The 4 greatest threats to a dog's long life: cancer, heart disease, kidney failure, and dental disease share one critical characteristic. Caught early, they are manageable. Caught late, they are devastating. Annual veterinary checkups for adult dogs and twice-yearly visits for dogs over the age of 7 are not a luxury. They are the single most reliable early warning system available. A routine exam can detect a heart murmur before it becomes heart failure. A blood panel can reveal kidney decline years before symptoms appear. A physical can find a tumor when it is the size of a marble, not a fist. And then there is dental disease. It is perhaps the most underestimated health crisis in companion animals today. Studies estimate that 80% of dogs show signs of periodontal disease by their 3rd birthday. Most owners never know, because dogs are masters at hiding discomfort. But the bacteria that colonize infected gums do not stay in the mouth. They enter the bloodstream. They travel to the heart valves, the kidneys, the liver, and they damage them, quietly, over years. Brushing a dog's teeth several times a week. Dental chews approved by the Veterinary Oral Health Council. Professional cleanings when recommended. These are not indulgences. They are the difference between a dog who lives to 12 and a dog who lives to 15. Go to the vet. Go before anything is wrong. Because the visit that finds nothing is the one worth celebrating most. Consider, for a moment, where your dog lives. Not in the way you think of your home as a place of furniture and rooms and familiar smells, but the way your dog experiences it. Nose to the floor, paws on every surface you've ever cleaned, treated, or sprayed, tongue on their own fur after every walk across your lawn. Your dog's world is 3 feet high and made entirely of contact. And in that world, there are dangers most owners never see. Lawn pesticides and herbicides, particularly those containing glyphosate and 2,4-D, have been scientifically linked to elevated rates of canine bladder cancer and lymphoma. A dog does not need to roll in a freshly sprayed lawn. They simply need to walk across it, then lick their paws. That is enough. Household cleaning products are no less concerning. Bleach, ammonia, and phenol-based cleaners leave invisible residues on the floors and surfaces where dogs spend their lives. Over months and years, that chronic low-level exposure accumulates. Pet-safe cleaning alternatives exist and are widely available, making the switch is a simple act with long-term consequences. And the air itself inside your home. Plug-in air fresheners. Scented candles. Essential oil diffusers. The fragrances that smell pleasant to us: lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, pine, are processed very differently by a dog's body. Several are directly toxic. Many others create a chemical burden the liver works to clear every single day. Your dog cannot choose what they're exposed to. They cannot read a label or open a window. But you can. Reduce the chemical load in your dog's environment, and you reduce one of the quietest, most consistent sources of biological stress in their life. Clean smarter. Breathe easier, both of you. And now we arrive at the 6th way, the one that surprises people. The one that sounds, at first, like poetry rather than science. But it is science. Profound, measurable, undeniable science. The 6th way to make your dog live longer is simply this: love them. Truly, every day. Dogs are not solitary animals wearing a social mask. They are, at the deepest biological level, beings of connection. They were shaped alongside humans over 15,000 years, not merely to tolerate our presence, but to need it, to read it, to be completed by it. Research from Duke University's Canine Cognition Center has demonstrated that dogs possess a social intelligence unique in the animal kingdom, an ability to read human facial expressions, follow human gaze, and respond to human emotion that surpasses even our closest primate relatives. They are built for us, and when they cannot be with us, when they feel isolated, ignored, or invisible, their bodies respond accordingly. Cortisol rises. Immune function falls. Inflammatory markers increase. Sleep deteriorates. And here is the part that stops researchers in their tracks. Dogs who experience consistent, loving connection with their owners show measurably longer telomeres, the protective structures at the end of each strand of DNA that determine how fast a cell ages. Longer telomeres mean slower aging. They mean more time. Love, in the most literal biological sense, keeps dogs alive longer. So what does this look like on a Tuesday afternoon? It looks like sitting with your dog without looking at your phone. It looks like a long walk with no destination. It looks like letting them sleep beside you. It looks like speaking their name in a voice that tells them, without words, that they are safe and wanted and seen. It looks like everything they already give you returned. Because your dog has never spent a single day wondering if you matter to them. The question is only whether they know the same is true of you. 6 ways. Real food. Healthy weight. Daily movement. Preventive care. A cleaner world. And love given freely and consistently every single day. None of these require perfection. None require sacrifice beyond a little more attention, a little more intention, a little more presence. They only require that you see your dog, truly see them as the extraordinary, irreplaceable creature they are. Because somewhere right now, your dog is waiting for you. Not for a treat, not for a walk, just for you. Go be with them. They won't be here forever. But with these 6 things, they can be here long.